Everyone, welcome back to our channel Govt Drish, your one-stop destination where we provide you with the detailed information of all the subjects and in the series wise, starting with Lucent series. तो वैसे ही आज है हम लोग का ल्यूसेंट सीरीज़ का पार्ट 7 और आज हम जानेंगे पोस्ट मौर्य और प्री गुप्ता पीरियड के बारे में। हमने अपने लास्ट वीडियोस में ऑलरेडी मौर्यन एम्पायर वैदिक एज के बारे में जान लिया है एंड ये ल्यूसेंट सीरीज़ है कम्प्लीटली एंशिएंट हिस्ट्री के बारे में। तो चलिए शुरू करते हैं विद आवर पोस्ट मौर्य एंड प्री गुप्ता पीरियड। फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल इज़ द नेटिव सक्सेसर्स ऑफ मौर्य। पहले हम जानते हैं सुंगा डायनेस्टी के बारे में जो था 185 BC से 73 BC तक, और ये पीरियड था ये था 185 BC से 319 AD तक, दैट इज़ एनो डोमिनी, और तब कैपिटल था विदिशा ऑफ MP। तो Sunga dynasty was established by a Brahmin commander in chief and it was the last modern ruler which ruled, and his name was Priyadatta in 185 BC. तो ये पुष्यमित्र जो थे, he was a staunch adherent of Orthodox Hinduism. However, the great Buddhist stupa at Bharut and MP was built during the reign of Sungas. वो बहुत ही हिंदुइज़म ऑर्थोडॉक्स थे एंड बट उनके अंडर ही ये बुद्धिस्ट स्तूपा जो भारूट में है दैट इज़ MP बना था। And we can say that he was succeeded by his son who was Agnimitra. Please remember the names of son as well as this Kalidasa's drama, that is Malviga Agnimitra. And then after Agnimitra, what happened? There was many weak rulers. There were no such strong rulers which they had, like Mauryan Empire had, and they were Vasumitra, Vajramitra, Bhagadatra, Devabuti. And what happened during their rule? There was a revival of Brahmanical influence. The Brahmanical system, the patriarchy system, it became more relevant, and the Bhagavata religion became more important. Then we have Patanjali, and who was the author of the Mahabhasya. Please remember which author, who was the author, where he was born. He was born in Gonada, and where it was in central India. Then this is also very important as Patanjali was the priest of 2 Ashwamedha Yajnas. We know Ashwamedha Yajnas were one of the sacrifices or the rituals of the Hindu religion, and it was performed by Pushyamitra Sunga. Now let's know about the arts. The Bharut Stupa, which we already talked about, which is an MP, was one of the famous monument of this period, and there was gateway railings also which surrounded the Sanchi Stupa. Then other examples is Vihar, Chaitya Stupa of Bhaja, Amravati Stupa, etc. Then we have the Kanva dynasty, and which existed between 73 BC to 28 BC, and it was ruled by Devabhuti, was the last ruler of the Sunga dynasty, but he was murdered by whom? By his minister, that is Vasudeva. And then they formed the Kanva dynasty, which was a new dynasty. But it also came to an end in 28 BC. Its capital was Patliputra. Then we have Satavahana dynasty, which existed between 60 BC to 225 BC, and what was its capital? It was Pratisthana or Pathan in Maharashtra. And the most important native successors were the Satavahanas. Okay, now let's get to know about one of the most native successors which we know were the Satavahanas, and they were identical with the Andhras who are mentioned in the Puranas. Just a second. Then we also know about the early Satavahan kings which were in Andhra but in Maharashtra. Then we have Simukha, who was the founder of Satavahana dynasty. Then Satakarni. Then we have Hala, its 17th ruler, who was also the author of the Gathasapasti or Satasai. Then we also have Munathya, that is the author of Brihat Katha. Okay. Now let's know about the Gautamiputra Satakarni, who revived the Satavahana power and defeated the Saka Kashyap Nahapana, and he was also the greatest Satavahana ruler. There is also evidence of the Vaisistipura Sri Satakarni, who was the 24th ruler, and they were married to the daughter of Saka Kratapa Rudranaman, but he was defeated by him twice. Then let's know about the Yajna Sri Satakarni, who was the 27th ruler and was the dynasties last great ruler. Then we have Pulvamavi, that is 3, and he was the 13th ruler, and he was the last Satavahana ruler. But Satavahanas, how they finally succeeded, that was in the 3rd century AD. These lines are very important. Please make a note of that. Now, Satavahanas were the one who started the practice of donating land, and but with what motive? With fiscal and administrative immunities. To whom? To the Brahmanas and Buddhist monks. But what happened through this process weakened the authority. And then we also have the earliest inscription evidence of land grant in India, which belonged to the 1st century BC. Now, under the Satavahanas, the chaityas, that is the worship halls, as well as the monasteries, they were cut out from rocks, mostly in which areas? Northwestern and Deccan Maharashtra. These are some of the examples. Now, what are stupas? These are large round structures and which are thought to be a sacred relic in the Buddhist culture. And how they were seen? They were scattered all around Ellora. Then we have the famous of this attributed to the Satavahana period are Amravati's stupa, which is very famous. Then we have what it is a treasure house. And then we have that is Nagarjukonda. Now, what were the official language of the Satavahanas? It was Prakrit, and they also issued their own coins, that is in copper, bronze, and poti. Chedi dynasty of Kalinga. Okay, so after the Kalinga war and also after the death of Ashoka, there was a new dynasty formed, which was Cheti or Chedi dynasty, which were rose in the region, and it was probably around the 1st century BC. And how do we know about this dynasty? It's truly to the Hathigumpa inscription, which was found in Bhubaneswar, Orissa, of Karavela, the 3rd ruler of this Cheti or Chedi dynasty. Then a follower of Jainism was Karavela, if we know about his background, and he was also a liberal patron of Jain monks, and he also constructed caves on the Udaigiri hills, which was near Bhubaneswar, Orissa. Now let's know about the foreign successors of Mauryas. The Indo-Greeks, that is 2nd century BC. Indo-Greeks were the first foreign rulers of northwestern India in the Post-Mauryan period, and the first, or you can say that the most famous Indo-Greek ruler was the Menander. He was also known as Milinda. He was converted to Buddhism by Nagasena or Nagarjuna. Then the Indo-Greek rule is important in the history of India because of the large number of coins which they issued. So remember that this reign for the coins. And then we also have the things that these coins were also attributed to the kings during this period. And they were the first issue gold coins. Which were the ones who issued the gold coins for the first time? These were the Indo-Greeks. They also introduced Hellenic, that is the Greek features in art, giving rise to Gandhar. Then there comes the Shakas, who were also known as Scythians. They replaced Indo-Greeks. Now, among the 5 branches of Shakas, they had different powers. Then we also know Shaka ruler, that is Rudranaman. He was not only famous for his military conquest, but also for his public works. He was also patronage of Sanskrit. Other important Shaka rulers were Nahapandana, Ushavadeva, Gamatika, Chastana, and Vikramaditya is supposed to have fought against the Shakas, and this era was called Vikrama Samvat. Then we have the Parthians, that is 1st century BC to 1st century AD. These Parthians lived in Iran, replaced the Shakas in northwestern India. Then we have the first or the most famous Parthian king, that was the Gondophares in St. Thomas, came in his reign only for the propagation of Christianity. Then we have Kushanas from 1st century to 3rd century. They were one of the 5 clans of Central Asia. They replaced the Parthians and settled in these regions. Then we have first Kushan dynasty was founded by Kadphises. Second king was Kadphises II. Then we have second Kushan dynasty was founded by Kanishka, and capitals were Peshawar and Mathura. The most famous Kushan ruler was Kanishka, who was also known as second Ashoka. Then he started the Saka era. Now we can also that Kanishka was a great patron of Mahayana Buddhism. Last great Kushana ruler was Vasudeva. Now these Kushans controlled famous Silk Road starting from China. Okay. Now we will also know about that they were also the first one who ruled as well as who also issued gold coins on a wide scale, and royal courts. These are the names of them. Now, some facts about post-Mauryans. That is, there were three schools of Mauryas. There was Amravati school, Gandhar school, and Mathura school. And in this AD, Hippalos, a Greek sailor, that discovered this monsoon sea route. These are the important ports. Then bullion was flowing out of Rome to India. Then we have this Geographica. Then these are the Sangam period, that was during the 1st to 3rd century AD. And these are the three early kingdoms: the Chera, the Chola, the Pandya fish. Please go through all of these. Then we have the Cheras, the Chera country. They occupied both Kerala and Tamil Nadu. Then we have the capital of Chera was Vanji. Its main ports were these. Then two regiment at Mujris and Chera country. Now, one of the earliest and better known, among Chera was this Udayagiral. Then we have the greatest of Chera king, that was Red Chera. We have also the founder of the famous Patini cult related to worship of goddess of chastity, that is Kanaki. Then came the Cholas, the important one, and their Chola kingdom was known as Chola Mandalam, which was situated in northeast of Pandya kingdom and which existed between Pinnar and Vellar. The Chola kingdom then corresponded to the modern Tanjore and Tiruchirappalli districts. Its capital was Urayur, that was famous place for cotton trade. Then we have Puhar, which is the main port of Cholas. And then we have also Ellora, who conquered Sri Lanka. These are very important. Make note of all the achievements as well as the kings. Then we have also the greatest king, that is Karikala, who founded this Puhar. And then the Pandyas were the first mentioned by the Megasthenes, who said their kingdom was famous for pearls. Then the Pandya territory included these districts. Then these were the Roman empires. And these are the earliest known Pandyan ruler. Then we have this greatest Pandya king. Now, the Sangam administration, the king was the center of the administration. He was called Ko, Manan, Vindavan, or Irayavan. Then Avai was the court of the crowned monarch. Then we also have the important officials as well. These are all the important officials which existed, which were priests, as well as spies, envoys. Now, this kingdom was divided into Mandalam or Nadu, or Ud, and Perur or Sirur. Important. It may come and match the following questions. Then we have Patinam. This was revenue administration, land tax, tributes, custom duties, tax collectors, all had a different name. And it was said that Chola territory was watered by Kaveri, in space which an elephant could lie down, produced enough to feed 7 persons. Now, this was the Sangam literature box. Venue under the chairmanship, surviving text, patron. Go through all of that and make a note. Now let's know about the Sangam. That was assembly of Tamil poets, and this was the first Sangam which was attended by gods. Then the second Sangam, this was Raman, written by the Tolakapir. Then the third Sangam, Patu. These are all the important things. Then we have Kural or Mupal, that was a part of the Patini Kelikanaku, which was written by Tiruvalur and was also known as the Bible of Tamil Nadu. Please remember what is called the Bible of Tamil Nadu? This thing. Then these are some of the epics. That is Silapadikaram, that is Mani Melakai, which was writer's name. Then Sivaga Sidamani, that was written by Jain, that is Tirukara Devas. Then Bharatam. These are Panchitai, that is 5 Tamil regions, what occupation they had, what inhabitants. These are all their occupations. Okay, wetland, mountains, arid zone, pastoral tract, and coastal. So this was the brief about the pre-Gupta period. So go through all of that, make notes all of that, frame questions, and if you have any query or have any such confusion, then comment down in our comment box section and we'll help you out for sure. Keep watching our videos on a